When I was 6 years old, my grandpa built me a submarine. And this wasn't just any submarine, it was a super submarine. With this sub, we could go on incredible adventures exploring shipwrecks, visiting underwater cities, and even battling sharks. It's hard to believe that this was real life and not a movie or a dream. But every summer during the 80s, I would spend time with my grandpa in his secret laboratory where he designed and built all kinds of crazy things. One day he surprised me with the best gift ever, a yellow submarine with a big red stripe and a periscope just like the ones I used to see in movies. I couldn't wait to dive into the ocean and discover what secrets it was hiding. My grandpa knew how to make things extra special. He had equipped the submarine with a special device that allowed us to breathe underwater, so I didn't have to worry about running out of air. Instead, I could explore the depths of the ocean for hours without any problems. He also made sure the sub was super comfortable. There were pillows everywhere, so I wouldn't get sore from sitting in one position for too long. I could lie down and look up at the ceiling or sit up and steer the vessel. The ceiling had lights that changed colors depending on how deep we went. At first, they were bright and cheerful, but as we descended deeper into the water, they turned dark and mysterious. But the best part of the submarine was definitely the periscope. It let me see above the surface while I was under the water. That way, I wouldn't miss anything when we surfaced. The periscope also helped us avoid obstacles in the water like rocks and seaweed. Plus, it made me feel like a real captain steering my own ship. But the coolest feature of the sub had to be the sonar system. This allowed us to communicate with other submarines and ships above the water. We could send messages back and forth, which made it feel like we were part of an elite team on a top-secret mission. But this was more than just a game for my grandpa. For him, it was a way of life. He had always been fascinated by the ocean and spent his whole life studying it. He had maps of the ocean floor memorized and knew every current and tide pattern. He even knew the names of all the fish that lived in the deepest trenches. When he was younger, he had worked as a marine biologist and had traveled all over the world to study different species of fish. He had seen things most people never get to see in their entire lives, and he loved sharing his knowledge with me. Whenever we went on an adventure, he would tell me all kinds of interesting facts about the creatures we saw. He taught me about the bioluminescent jellyfish, the giant squid, and mysterious anglerfish. I was amazed by the wonders of the ocean and felt like I was learning from the best teacher possible. One day, my grandpa told me he wanted to show me something really special. He said he had discovered a hidden underwater city and wanted to take me there. I couldn't believe it. An underwater city? What would that look like? Would there be mermaids? As the submarine began to descend, I could feel the pressure in my ears and the excitement building inside of me. The deeper we went, the darker it got, but that just made the adventure feel more exciting. Suddenly, I saw something in the distance. At first, it looked like a small blip on the sonar, but then as we got closer, it became more defined. It was definitely a structure of some kind. My heart started to race as we approached. As we got closer, I could see that it was an enormous wall made of coral. And as we went deeper, the coral opened up to reveal an entire city. It was amazing. There were buildings made of shells and coral and all kinds of colorful fish swimming in and out of them. There were even some strange-looking creatures that I had never seen before. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was like nothing I had ever imagined. We spent hours exploring the city. I saw all kinds of amazing things like a huge clam that looked like a treasure chest, a group of pufferfish that were playing together, and a moray eel that was slithering through the coral. I couldn't stop taking it all in. We even found a sunken pirate ship filled with gold, coins, and jewels. I felt like we had just discovered the biggest treasure in the world. Of course, I gave all the treasure to my grandpa because he was the one who had led us to the hidden city. He was so happy to have shared this experience with me. He said he had been searching for this place for years, and finally finding it was a dream come true. We took some souvenirs like a few shells and pieces of coral to remember our amazing adventure. Then we headed back to the surface. As we came up, I could see the sunlight sparkling on the waves and hear the sound of birds overhead. It was such a relief to be back in the air after spending so much time underwater. but I knew I would never forget what I had seen. From that day on, the ocean was no longer just a body of water. It was a world full of mystery and wonder. I learned that sometimes the greatest adventures are the ones you never expected. But sadly, the submarine was destroyed in a storm one day and I never saw my grandpa again. I still think about my adventures with him and the amazing things we saw. I wish I could have kept the submarine and continued our explorations, but I know that even if we had, I wouldn't have been able to handle the truth of the situation. My grandpa was actually a CIA agent and the submarine was a top-secret invention. Our adventures weren't just make-believe, they were real missions. I was too young to understand what was going on at the time, but now I realize how lucky I was to be involved in such dangerous activities. The storm that destroyed the submarine wasn't an accident. It was a way to cover up its existence and prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. After the submarine was destroyed, my grandpa went into hiding. He knew that if the government found out he had built a nuclear submarine, he would be arrested. He left me with a message saying he had to go away for a while, but that I should keep our adventures in my heart. I never saw him again, but I believe he was happy that I had experienced the wonders of the ocean with him. Even though I can't talk about these adventures in detail, I hope I've shown you that the ocean is a place full of beauty and mystery. Who knows what kind of amazing things are hiding beneath the surface? Maybe one day you'll get the chance to explore the ocean and discover what wonders it has to offer. Just remember to be respectful of the environment and don't disturb the creatures that live there. The ocean is a delicate ecosystem, and it's our responsibility to protect it. The memories I made with my grandpa are some of the most precious things I have in my life. Even though we had to keep our adventures secret, I know he was proud of me for being such a good and curious adventurer. I will never forget the time we spent together exploring the ocean and discovering its many wonders. Now, as an adult, I still think about my adventures with my grandpa and the amazing things we saw. I wish I could have kept the submarine and continued our explorations, but I know that even if we had, I wouldn't have been able to handle the truth of the situation. The ocean is a vast and mysterious place, and I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to explore it with my grandpa. The memories I made with him are some of the most precious things I have in my life, and I will cherish them forever. And that's the end of this crazy story. Did you enjoy it? Please hit the like button if you did and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.